Yes. British movies. The most popular ones that we know are James Bond and Harry Potter. Both these franchises are legendary and incredible. And some would even say The Lord of the Rings, but that was technically filmed in New Zealand, so will count as one of the greatest book franchises of all time. There you go. But what if I were to say that Dame Agatha Christie actually approved of a adaptation of her when she was 84 years old when this came out in 1974? That's right, Murder on the Orient Express. Elegant, escapist entertainment at a stylishly European best. This Agatha Christie whodunit boasts an incredible international cast of some of the most wonderfully eccentric characters ever created. Ingrid Bergman won an Oscar for her role as the slightly dim-witted, Bible-quoting Swedish missionary. Albert Finney is the dapper detective. Hercule Poirot, for whom murder-solving is a precise intellectual exercise. Poirot agrees to interview all aboard the famous train's Calais coach, hoping to find the killer of an American millionaire before the local police arrive. Packed with sparkling dialogue and visually rich in texture, this incomparable thriller received 6 Academy Award nominations. Who does it star, you may ask? Bond. James Bond. But me, I'm playing a colonel instead, and I have a mustache. Yes, I do. Ingrid Bergman, of course. I think she played in, what was that? What's the one? Casablanca. And Alfred Landau, who indeed played as the mustache twirl. Alfred Finney, who plays the mustache twirling detective. Just to give you an idea of what it took to convince Agatha Christie to accept the proposal, it took, I think, a call to like the British royal family and the director to make this happen, because all of her adaptations she disapproved of upon seeing them, except for Witness for the Prosecution from 1960. So they really wanted to do it. First thing you did was get Sean Connery on board, and everyone else followed suit because it's James Bond, the first one. That's all you need to say. Christie went and saw it, and she said, I loved every single second of it, except for the kind of cheesy, twirly mustache that you see right here when it was supposed to be an elegant Freddie Mercury-style mustache. So that was her one complaint, which is pretty funny. Anyway, elegant, sophistication, the costumes, the music. The music when the train arrives, it's a waltz. It's not like a chugga 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 having the brass section. It's a whimsical kind of waltz, if you will, to make it seem like this is going to be escapist, fun entertainment at its best. It's still going to be a mystery, though. The music is just everywhere. In the beginning, most of it's quiet in this film, but when it comes, it shows off the beauty, the extravagance that happens within this movie. I mean, for crying out loud. It is what, like, Bernard Hartman did with Alfred Hitchcock, that Richard Russell, I think who it was, Sir Richard, by the way, did to prioritize the film. And I'm just like, you darn straight that he did. And music's outstanding. The performances, my word, what can be said about Lorne Bacall standing in there, the dame, with her eyes. She's got the look that will entice men. The eyes. The way how she stands there, not hoity, but at the same time, the character she plays is one who is sensible and not extravagant. You got Sean Connery, who plays a colonel who is going through a divorce. You got so many others. You got Ingrid Bergman, who plays the slightly dim-witted Swedish person who 5 minutes, one take, they wanted to have her in, but she felt like she couldn't handle the role. So instead, they just give her the screen time. Here, recall this, winning an Academy Award or an Oscar for the delivery and performance. The camera focused right there on her. Absolutely fantastic. Yes, it's hard to believe that just because that this Colonel Armstrong family, great tragedy befalls them. they get killed, and they get billed. Excuse me. And there's mystery. There's intrigue going on. What happened? Who was responsible for it? Inspired by Charles Lindbergh when his son was kidnapped. Never solved. So yeah, this because it was written in the 1930s. And 12 people descend onto this train. They first arrive by boat and then on train to go all the way to Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia. I don't know my geography that well. Anyway. For the first 30 minutes, it's stylish. It's grandeur. The costumes, for crying out loud. There's a princess that comes in. There's all the suits and everything that they wear. I mean, just look. There's the dresses. Even the handbags stand out. The handbags. And it's just like, this is a textured, layered, incredible way just to show off everything. I'd say the closest would be like, I guess, The Great Gatsby. Anyway. It's rich, textureful. It's like everyone descends. At first I'm like, okay, I'm a little bored. They're all descending to this. Then eventually things get going, literally with the train. And it's a classic case of whodunit, of like everyone is giving their, what's the word I'm looking for? Testimony. Trying to prove to the guy to Poirot that, oh, I didn't do anything like that. No. But inadvertently, they all reveal they had something to do with it. Whether it was just being a chauffeur, whether it was the actual missing daughter is on there, which was supposed to be Elena, but it got Helena because of a slightly botched password. So mainly left out the H, so it's Elena. That got mutilated, and now you just see like, yeah. I mean, it's all cramped. Eventually, it's like you can feel kind of the sense of, not claustrophobia, but the train gets stuck during a blizzard, and the detective Hercule wants to get this crime figured before they get questioned by local Yugoslavian police. And just when the murder happens about 45 minutes in, and I'm spoiling this, it turns out the person that they murdered actually who was a mafia member, actually managed to was the mastermind behind killing all the Armstrong people. Even managed to, I guess, kind of frame an innocent maid who jumped off a cliff or something like that. The guy gets what he deserves. Period. And then it is really a great police interrogation, which I'm guessing, if I had to guess, the makers of Clue got at least some influence from this movie. I'm just guessing, but you never know. It just, like, it's a classic case of whodunit, but at the same time done so royally and magnificently. Yeah. There is several languages that are intermixed. German. Grunwald, which I found out is German for Greenwood. I did not know that. There's Swedish. There's French. I had to Google some of these phrases, which I'm like... And then fiat accompli, which is like, you already did this crime, you already know it, don't pretend to be fake, something like that. I was impressed by that. So, yeah, it was a mixture of different languages. It would have been nice if the subtitles had a translation. But whatever. I also found out what DSO, MO, and VO stand for. Distinguished Service Officer, Military Officer, and Victorian Officer, which I think is the Canadian version, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. I had to Google a lot of stuff. Let's just say that. Like I said, it leads to a magnificent royal conclusion. I mean, when you want to talk about a third act, a true, epic, movie-defining third act, this is amongst probably easily the top 50 in film history. The sit down, the way how he pieces everything together, all the little clues that were sprinkled throughout the interrogations, just everything like that. It was just like, oh my word! You look at it and it's just like, wow. Wonder why it won 6 dang awards. Yeah. Winner. Actress in a supporting role, 1974, and 6 Academy Award nominations. Jeez. I mean, just the fact that Albert is just sitting there looking at all of them, connects them all together, and realizes that they all have some connection, minus a Greek physician. Really. The guy gets stabbed 12 different times, and they all do it for a certain reason. The daughter, Sean Connery does it because Colonel Armstrong, they were both in the army, Indian Army together for whatever reason. If this is what this is an epic British movie. This really is pure cinema in a cinema movie. There is no other way to describe it. There is this knife, which is seen right here. Is the dagger that goes through the schmuck. Yeah, I cannot recommend this movie highly enough. It goes by so dang fast. If I had to nitpick about some stuff some people may not like, one person says the 6-letter R word, but that it fits in the context of 1930s, okay? Some people could probably may get a little tired of all the mustaches or the kind of fake accents, but that's all I can really say. Okay, yeah, the mustaches are kind of cheesy. But, yeah. I really cannot recommend... I cannot highly enough... I truly recommend this movie. Please watch Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express.